and Sir Coxsone that him, yeah, we did a song for Sir Coxsone too. But there was a lot of competition, and too, we were singing like roots and culture music, and it wasn't taking off so much.
Sugar Minott might not be a household name for everyone, but in the reggae world, he's a legend. From the vibrant streets of Kingston to international stages, Sugar's music left a mark that still echoes today. But behind the smooth rhythms and soulful melodies, his life had twists, turns, and moments that shaped the man behind the microphone. In this video, we're peeling back the layers of his story. We'll talk about his rise, his struggles, his triumphs, and why his legacy continues to inspire artists decades later. Buckle up, because Sugar Minott's story is one you need to hear. Early life and Jamaican roots. Sugar Minott was born Lincoln Barrington Minott on May 26, 1956 in Kingston, Jamaica. From the very start, it was clear he was going to be someone people noticed, though probably not for typical kid stuff like climbing trees or playing marbles. Sugar's childhood was rooted in the lively, chaotic energy of Kingston, a city that pulses with music, culture, and stories on every corner. Growing up in a working-class neighborhood, he was surrounded by the sound of mento, ska, and the early rhythms that would eventually evolve into reggae. The streets themselves were a school, teaching young Lincoln lessons about community, struggle, and resilience. From an early age, he was drawn to music. It wasn't just a hobby, it was a calling. The Minott household was modest but rich with rhythm. Family members played records and instruments, filling the rooms with melodies that sparked Lincoln's imagination. By the time he was a preteen, he was already singing along with the local sound system sessions, absorbing not only the melodies but the way music connected people. These sessions weren't just parties. They were cultural hubs where local talent got a chance to shine, and where Sugar would eventually learn the craft that would define his life. Kingston in the 1960s and 70s wasn't an easy place to grow up. The city faced social and economic struggles, and opportunities were limited for many young people. But this environment also had its upside for someone like Sugar. The vibrant street culture, combined with the booming sound system scene, gave him a direct path to express himself. He learned early on that music wasn't just entertainment, it was a way to survive, to communicate, and to carve out a place in the world. It was during these formative years that Sugar's vocal talent began to catch attention. People noticed that his voice had a natural warmth and clarity, something rare for a teenager performing in informal street sessions. But more than just a good voice, Sugar had an instinct for rhythm, phrasing, and the kind of soulful delivery that would later make him a standout in reggae and dancehall. In a city teeming with talent, this was no small feat. He wasn't just singing, he was connecting, telling stories through his voice, and learning how music could influence people emotionally. Music also gave him an escape from the challenges around him. Family pressures, economic difficulties, and the rough realities of Kingston life could have been limiting. But Sugar found a way to channel everything into song. The streets taught him toughness, the music taught him expression. Together, they shaped a young artist ready to make his mark. By the time he reached his teenage years, he was already performing regularly at local events and catching the eye of more established musicians and producers in Kingston. Looking back, it's easy to see how Sugar Minott's early life set the stage for everything that came after. The combination of a musical household, exposure to Kingston street culture, and the mentorship found in local sound systems created the perfect storm for a budding reggae icon. Every note he sang carried a piece of his childhood, the rhythms of his neighborhood, and the soul of a young man determined to make his voice heard. By the time he stepped into the recording studios for the first time, Sugar Minott wasn't just a kid with a dream. He was a young artist ready to leave a mark that would last far beyond the streets of Kingston. Breaking into the music scene. Sugar Minott's journey into the music scene wasn't exactly a smooth ride paved with gold. In fact, it was more like a winding road with a few potholes. But one thing was clear: he had talent that demanded to be noticed. His first real exposure came in the early 1970s when he started performing on Kingston's local sound systems, which were basically mobile concerts on steroids. These sound systems were the lifeblood of reggae culture, bringing music to the streets and offering young artists a chance to be heard. For Sugar, it was the perfect stage to showcase his skills and learn the ropes. During this time, he worked closely with some of Jamaica's key producers, including the legendary Clement Coxsone Dodd of Studio One. Studio One was like the Harvard of reggae. It launched the careers of countless reggae icons, and Sugar was lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time. Working with Coxsone gave him access not just to recording facilities, but also to mentorship from people who knew the industry inside and out. It was here that Sugar honed his craft, learning how to navigate the sometimes tricky world of production, marketing, and the creative process behind hit records. Sugar's early recordings showed a remarkable blend of traditional reggae rhythms with a youthful, energetic delivery. Songs like Good Thing Going demonstrated that he had more than just a good voice. He had charisma and timing that could capture listeners' attention. What made him stand out from the crowd was his ability to connect with his audience. He wasn't just performing for the sake of it, he was telling stories, reflecting everyday life in Kingston, and putting emotion into every line. His lyrics were relatable, his melodies catchy, and his delivery unmistakably authentic. The road to recognition wasn't without challenges. The Jamaican music industry at the time was highly competitive, and breaking in required persistence, luck, and a thick skin. Many talented artists never made it beyond local fame, but Sugar had something different. He had a vision for his music and an understanding of the sound system culture that others didn't. Performing regularly in these street-level concerts helped him develop confidence, learn crowd control, and master the art of improvisation. Each session was a learning experience that shaped him into a more polished performer. In addition to working with established producers, Sugar also started experimenting with his own sound. He blended roots reggae with early dancehall elements, creating a style that felt fresh and modern without losing the essence of reggae. This experimentation would become a hallmark of his career. By the mid-1970s, he was beginning to attract attention, not just in Kingston, but across Jamaica, with radio stations picking up his tracks and fans turning up at shows to hear the young sensation live. Sugar Minott's early collaborations also played a big role in shaping his music. Partnering with other emerging talents and seasoned artists gave him exposure to different styles and techniques, expanding his musical range. He wasn't afraid to learn from others or adapt to new trends, which helped him stay relevant and innovative in a rapidly evolving music scene. These early experiences set the foundation for his future success and laid the groundwork for his eventual international recognition. Looking back, Sugar Minott's entry into the music world shows a mix of raw talent, hard work, and strategic partnerships. He seized opportunities, embraced mentorship, and stayed true to his sound, all while navigating the challenges of a competitive industry. These formative years were crucial. They transformed Lincoln Barrington Minott from a streetwise Kingston teenager into the rising star known to fans simply as Sugar Minott, a name that would soon resonate far beyond the streets of Jamaica. The rise to stardom. Once Sugar Minott found his footing in the Jamaican music scene, there was no stopping him. The mid to late 1970s marked a period where his name began to resonate far beyond Kingston sound systems. He wasn't just another young talent trying to make it. He was becoming a force, blending smooth vocals with infectious rhythms that made fans take notice. By now, he was performing regularly on the radio and at popular venues, and his recordings were starting to reach wider audiences. One of the pivotal moments in his rise came with the release of tracks like Good Thing Going and Herbman Hustling. These songs weren't just hits, they showcased Sugar's ability to tell a story while keeping listeners dancing. His style was a seamless mix of roots, reggae's soulful melodies, with a youthful, slightly rebellious energy that hinted at the coming dancehall era. People were drawn not just to his voice, but to his charisma and stage presence. Watching him perform was like seeing someone genuinely living the music, connecting with every beat and lyric. Sugar's talent didn't go unnoticed by international audiences. By the late 1970s, his music had started to travel overseas, particularly to the UK, where the reggae scene was thriving among immigrant communities. Fans in London, Birmingham, and other cities were hungry for authentic Jamaican sounds, and Sugar delivered. He toured extensively, performing in clubs and festivals, spreading his music far beyond the island. These international appearances helped cement his reputation as one of reggae's rising stars and introduced him to a global audience that would follow his career for decades. Collaboration became another key part of his growth. Sugar worked with some of the biggest names in reggae, including the likes of Linval Thompson and Augustus Pablo. These partnerships helped him refine his craft and explore different musical styles. He wasn't afraid to experiment, blending traditional reggae with emerging trends in dancehall and dub. This flexibility made him stand out in a crowded field of talented artists and allowed him to remain relevant as the music landscape evolved. What also set Sugar apart was his approach to lyrics. Many artists focused on political messages, romance, or social commentary. Sugar could do all of that, but he also brought a personal touch. His songs often reflected everyday experiences, love, heartbreak, community struggles, making them instantly relatable. Fans felt like he was singing about their lives, and that connection is part of what fueled his growing popularity. He had the rare ability to be both a performer and a storyteller, which made his music timeless. The late 1970s and early 1980s saw him hitting more significant milestones. Charting singles, packed concert venues, and critical acclaim all pointed to a rising star who was here to stay. Sugar Minott was no longer just a promising Jamaican talent. He was a name people recognized internationally. His signature mix of roots and dancehall, combined with his charisma and consistent output, meant that he was laying the foundation for a career that would influence countless artists to come. By the time he fully entered the 1980s, Sugar Minott had transitioned from a talented newcomer into a respected and celebrated artist. His rise wasn't accidental. It was the result of persistence, adaptability, and a clear love for music that resonated with people across social and geographic boundaries. The stage was set for him not only to dominate reggae charts, but also to become a mentor and innovator, shaping the sound of reggae for the next generation. Founder of Youth Promotion. By the early 1980s, Sugar Minott wasn't just a performer. He had started thinking about the bigger picture. He knew that talent alone wasn't enough. Many promising Jamaican artists struggled to break into the industry due to a lack of resources, guidance, or exposure. This realization led him to create Youth Promotion, his very own record label and production house. It was more than just a business. It was a way for Sugar to give back to the community that had shaped him and to help nurture the next generation of reggae talent. Youth Promotion was launched with a simple but powerful mission: to identify young artists, help them record, and get their music out into the world. Sugar wanted to create opportunities that he hadn't always had in his own early days. He remembered what it was like to hustle through the sound system circuit, relying on chance encounters and small gigs to get noticed. Now, he could use his experience, connections, and reputation to open doors for others. The label quickly became a proving ground for emerging artists. Sugar wasn't just a producer sitting in the studio, he was hands-on. He worked with singers, DJs, and musicians, guiding them through vocal technique, stage presence, and song arrangement. He advised on everything from selecting the right rhythm to understanding the business side of the music industry. For many artists, working with Sugar was a crash course in professionalism, combined with creativity. He had the unique ability to nurture raw talent without stifling it, balancing mentorship with artistic freedom. Some of the most notable artists to emerge from Youth Promotion include Tenor Saw, Nitty Gritty, and Barrington Levy, who went on to become significant figures in reggae and dancehall. Sugar's label wasn't just about creating hits. It was about shaping artists with longevity in mind. He understood that the music industry could be unpredictable and sometimes unforgiving, so he emphasized discipline, innovation, and staying true to one's unique voice. Youth Promotion also allowed Sugar to experiment with new sounds. The early 1980s were a time of transition in reggae, with dancehall starting to take center stage. Sugar leveraged his label to explore these changes while still honoring the roots of reggae. The combination of experience and experimentation made the label a hub of creativity. It wasn't just a business, it was a cultural incubator where ideas flourished and new trends were born. Sugar's influence extended beyond the studio. Many artists he mentored credited him with teaching them confidence and professionalism, showing them how to navigate the often tricky world of music promotion, touring, and recording. Youth Promotion became a respected name in the industry, not just because of Sugar's own fame, but because of the quality of talent it produced. In the broader context of reggae, Youth Promotion solidified Sugar Minott's role as a mentor and innovator. He wasn't content to rest on his own success. He wanted to elevate others and ensure that the reggae scene continued to thrive. His efforts created a ripple effect, influencing the careers of dozens of artists who, in turn, shaped reggae's evolution in the 1980s and beyond. By founding Youth Promotion, Sugar Minott transformed from a celebrated artist into a cultural leader, leaving a lasting impact on reggae music. The label demonstrated that his legacy wasn't just about the hits he recorded, but also about the voices he amplified, the careers he nurtured, and the creative energy he inspired. Through Youth Promotion, Sugar's influence would continue long after his own music left the speakers, cementing his place not only in reggae history, but also in the hearts of the artists he helped flourish. Personal life and struggles. Behind the music and the accolades, Sugar Minott's life wasn't always smooth sailing. Like many artists, he faced a mixture of personal challenges and the pressures of the music industry that shaped both his character and his artistry. While fans loved the upbeat, soulful sound he produced, the man behind the microphone had a story filled with highs and lows that few outside his circle fully understood. Family was central to Sugar's life. He was known to be a devoted father and partner, even as his career demanded long hours on stage, in studios, and traveling overseas. Balancing family life with an expanding music career wasn't easy, and Sugar often spoke about the challenges of maintaining that equilibrium. The demands of touring meant time away from home, which could be emotionally taxing, but he always tried to stay connected to his loved ones, sharing moments whenever possible, and ensuring that his children felt supported despite his busy schedule. Sugar's personal struggles also included navigating the competitive and sometimes cutthroat music industry. Jamaica's reggae scene in the 70s and 80s was vibrant, but it was also intense, with countless talented artists vying for attention. Success wasn't guaranteed, and Sugar often had to make tough decisions about collaborations, management, and the direction of his music. He had to be resilient, learning from setbacks and criticism while continuing to produce music that resonated with fans. The ability to adapt was essential, and Sugar did so with a mix of humility, creativity, and determination. Health issues occasionally complicated Sugar's life as well. Years of intense performances, long travel, and the rigors of studio work took their toll. While he maintained a strong stage presence, there were moments when the demands of the profession caught up to him. These experiences made him reflect on his priorities, pushing him to focus not only on his music, but also on his well-being and relationships. Music became both a passion and a coping mechanism, allowing him to channel personal struggles into creative expression. Despite the pressures, Sugar Minott remained remarkably grounded. Colleagues and fans often described him as approachable and kind-hearted. He had a knack for mentoring younger artists, perhaps because he understood firsthand the personal and professional challenges they would face. He could offer guidance not only on musical technique, but also on navigating the emotional ups and downs that came with life in the spotlight. His generosity with advice and support reinforced his reputation as not just a talented artist, but a caring and influential figure in reggae culture. Sugar also experienced setbacks in his personal relationships, a reality for many artists with demanding careers. Romantic relationships could be complicated by touring schedules and the public nature of his work. Yet he approached these challenges with honesty, often allowing his experiences to inform his songwriting. Some of his most heartfelt tracks reflected moments of love, heartbreak, and self-discovery, giving fans an intimate window into his life. These songs weren't just entertainment, they were personal narratives that showcased his vulnerability and authenticity. In the end, Sugar Minott's personal life and struggles were inseparable from his music. His ability to translate personal experiences into songs that resonated with wide audiences contributed to his enduring appeal. The challenges he faced shaped him, adding depth and soul to his recordings and performances. Fans may have danced to his hits without knowing the full story behind them, but those who looked closer could see a man who combined talent, resilience, and heart to leave a lasting impact on reggae music. Later, career and legacy. As Sugar Minott moved into the later stages of his career, he didn't slow down. He evolved. By the late 1980s and 1990s, he was no longer just the energetic young singer who had burst onto the scene in Kingston. He had become a seasoned artist, a mentor, and a respected figure in reggae music. His work during this period reflected both his maturity and his ongoing commitment to the genre, blending traditional reggae with emerging dancehall trends and continuing to influence younger artists. One of the hallmarks of Sugar's later career was his prolific output. He didn't rest on past successes. He continued recording albums, singles, and collaborations that showcased his versatility. From love ballads to socially conscious tracks, Sugar maintained a balance that kept fans engaged while attracting new listeners. His voice, still smooth and emotive, carried the experience of decades in music, adding layers of depth to performances that earlier in his career had been purely energetic. Touring remained a central part of his life. Sugar performed internationally, bringing authentic reggae sounds to audiences across Europe, North America, and beyond. These performances weren't just concerts, they were celebrations of a career that had spanned decades. Fans admired not only his talent, but his dedication, energy, and willingness to connect with audiences personally. He often shared stories on stage, reflecting on his journey, the highs and lows, and the music that had defined him. Collaboration continued to be a key theme. Sugar worked with both established artists and newcomers, bridging generational gaps in reggae music. His partnerships often led to innovative tracks that combined classic reggae elements with contemporary styles, helping to keep the genre fresh and relevant. By mentoring younger talent, Sugar ensured that his influence extended beyond his own recordings, shaping the sound and approach of the next wave of reggae performers. Recognition for his contributions came in many forms. Awards, honors, and public acknowledgments reflected not just his musical achievements, but his role in nurturing reggae culture. Sugar Minott was celebrated for his pioneering work in both roots reggae and dancehall, for his ability to adapt to evolving musical landscapes, and for his efforts to support emerging artists through initiatives like youth promotion. His peers respected him for his integrity, work ethic, and willingness to share his knowledge. Perhaps the most enduring aspect of Sugar Minott's later career was the legacy he built through influence. Artists frequently cited him as an inspiration, noting how his style, phrasing, and approach to performance shaped their own work. His music was sampled, covered, and referenced across genres, demonstrating that his reach extended far beyond the confines of reggae. Even as new musical trends emerged, Sugar's work remained relevant, proving that genuine talent combined with dedication leaves a lasting mark. Fans and critics alike recognized that Sugar Minott's impact went beyond individual hits or albums. He had become a symbol of consistency, authenticity, and mentorship in the reggae world. The later years of his career were not defined by chasing trends, but by reinforcing the values that had made him successful: hard work, creativity, and a deep connection to his roots. Through performances, recordings, and guidance to younger artists, Sugar cemented a legacy that would continue to resonate long after his final stage appearance. In sum, Sugar Minott's later career demonstrated that growth and influence often come together. He remained a vibrant, relevant artist, a mentor to emerging talent, and a beloved figure in the global reggae community. His legacy is not just in the music he created, but in the artists he nurtured, the fans he inspired, and the cultural impact he left behind, a testament to a life dedicated to music, mentorship, and authenticity. Health decline and final years. As the years went on, Sugar Minott faced challenges that went beyond the stage and studio. The life of a touring musician, especially one as active as Sugar, takes a physical and emotional toll. And by the 2000s, health concerns began to emerge. Despite the demands of performing and recording, Sugar remained committed to his music, showing fans the dedication that had defined his career from the very beginning. Yet behind the scenes, his health was becoming a growing concern. Details about Sugar's health issues were often private, as he preferred to let his music speak for him. However, close friends and family noted that the years of non-stop touring, late nights, and the pressures of the music industry inevitably affected his well-being. It's a familiar story for many musicians. Passion can be both a blessing and a strain. Sugar's resilience was remarkable. He continued performing, mentoring, and recording, but the physical challenges were mounting. Despite these difficulties, he maintained an impressive work ethic. Even in his later years, Sugar was committed to nurturing young talent through his label Youth Promotion, participating in studio sessions, and occasionally performing live. Fans who had followed him for decades witnessed a man whose spirit and dedication refused to fade. He remained approachable, generous with his knowledge, and deeply connected to the reggae community, demonstrating that his influence extended far beyond the notes he sang. In the months leading up to his passing, Sugar still appeared at various events, connecting with fans and fellow musicians. These final performances were more than just shows. They were celebrations of a life devoted to music. Colleagues and fans alike noted his warmth on stage, his ability to make people feel seen, and the unmistakable energy that had always defined his performances. Even as his health declined, Sugar's presence remained magnetic. Sugar Minott passed away on July 10, 2010, at the age of 54. His passing sent shockwaves through the reggae community and the music world at large. Tributes poured in from fans, fellow artists, and industry figures who recognized not only his contributions to reggae, but also his role as a mentor and cultural ambassador. Messages of condolence highlighted his generosity, humility, and the way he had shaped the careers of countless artists. The impact of his death went beyond personal loss. Sugar Minott had been a bridge between generations of reggae musicians, connecting the roots of the genre with its evolving future. Losing him created a void in the community, but it also reinforced the significance of his legacy. Artists who had worked with him or been inspired by him continued to honor his memory by citing him as an influence and carrying forward the sound and spirit he championed. Fans also paid homage through music. Tributes, covers, and posthumous releases helped preserve Sugar's voice and message. His songs continued to be played on radio stations, streamed online, and performed live, reminding listeners that his influence was far from over. Even in death, Sugar Minott's presence was felt in the pulse of reggae music, a reminder of his enduring talent, mentorship, and dedication. In reflecting on his final years, it's clear that Sugar faced his challenges with grace and determination. Health struggles may have marked this period, but they did not define him. Instead, his commitment to music, his guidance of younger artists, and his unwavering connection to fans underscored the kind of legacy few musicians achieve. Sugar Minott's final years were a testament to a life lived fully, passionately, and with a profound impact on the world of reggae. The legacy lives on. Even years after his passing, Sugar Minott's influence continues to resonate throughout reggae music and beyond. His contributions weren't just measured in hits or chart placements, they were felt in the artists he inspired, the styles he helped shape, and the cultural impact he left behind. For many, Sugar is remembered as a pioneer who bridged the gap between roots reggae and the emerging dancehall sound, setting a standard that continues to influence musicians today. One of the clearest examples of his enduring legacy is the artists he mentored through youth promotion. Many of these individuals went on to become major figures in reggae, carrying forward the lessons and techniques they learned from Sugar. His guidance extended beyond technical skills. He instilled professionalism, resilience, and respect for the art form. In many ways, each artist he nurtured became a living extension of his influence, ensuring that Sugar's voice and vision lived on even in new generations of music. Modern reggae and dancehall artists continue to draw inspiration from his unique sound and approach to performance. From vocal phrasing to rhythmic innovation, Sugar's fingerprints are evident in the work of performers who never had the chance to meet him personally. Sampling, covers, and tributes have kept his music alive, while his recordings remain essential, listening for fans and aspiring artists alike. His ability to fuse soulful melodies with danceable beats created a blueprint that many artists still study and emulate. Sugar Minott's legacy is also reflected in the broader reggae culture. He helped shape the way the genre evolved in the 1980s and beyond, influencing both style and substance. Dancehall as we know it today owes a debt to his experimentation and vision. By combining traditional reggae with fresh, energetic sounds, he expanded the possibilities of the genre, allowing it to reach wider audiences while remaining rooted in Jamaican culture. Even outside the music itself, Sugar's life story serves as inspiration. From humble beginnings in Kingston to international recognition, he showed that talent, dedication, and a willingness to mentor others can leave a lasting mark. He demonstrated the importance of community and collaboration in music, reminding artists that success isn't just about individual achievement, it's also about lifting others up and contributing to a larger cultural movement. Fans continue to celebrate his life through festivals, tribute performances, and online communities. His songs are still streamed, danced to, and shared across the globe, proving that great music transcends time. For younger listeners, discovering Sugar Minott often sparks a deeper appreciation for reggae history and its pioneers. In this way, his influence is both musical and educational, connecting generations and preserving the essence of Jamaica's rich musical heritage. Ultimately, Sugar Minott's legacy is one of creativity, mentorship, and enduring inspiration. He wasn't just a singer or producer, he was a cultural figure whose work shaped the trajectory of reggae music. His songs continue to inspire artists, delight fans, and remind the world of the power of authenticity, passion, and heart in music. Through his recordings, the artists he nurtured, and the countless fans he touched, Sugar Minott's spirit lives on, proving that his contribution to music and culture is timeless and unforgettable. Sugar Minott's story is more than a tale of hits and fame. It's a story of talent, perseverance, and legacy. From the streets of Kingston to international stages, his music touched lives and shaped the future of reggae. Today, his influence lives on through the artists he mentored, the songs we still play, and the inspiration he continues to provide. If you enjoyed exploring Sugar's journey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories behind the music and the legends who made it. Thanks for watching, and keep the music alive.